In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a realistic ketchup, mustard, mayo, like those squeezy bottles that you see. I'm going to be showing you how to make those realistic things with all of the globs and the ketchup and everything. All right. So welcome to this video. So yeah, this is basically going to be our model. It's going to be very simple model, and you can see the final output over here. It's, oh, I have a yellow bottle over here. I swear to God, I could have sworn that I had a red bottle over here. Alright, anyways, the thing about it is you can see that I have this it's mustard, right? Yellow is mustard. I have this mustard inside, and I have these globs over here where, you know, the mustard would have stuck in to the sides out of the squeezing, and you can see that, you know, have these imperfections going all over it. So this is what this tutorial is gonna be about. And if I can show you the node setup, here's what it looks like. Don't get intimidated because it's not really hard. It's actually pretty easy to do. It has, like, you know, it just has like 4 and 5 procedural textures, and the rest are just, you know, image textures. So it's super easy to do, and let's get right into it. It's not going to take a long time. So before I start, I just have to tell you that this is not going to be like a beginner thing where I'm going to explain everything in depth. The model is a simple model, so I'm just going to like speed run through the modeling and the UV unwrapping thing, and I'm going to like really focus on the texturing part, right? So I will start the tutorial now. And before we begin, make sure you go to CC0 textures and you know, download a nice plastic texture, whatever you like. I'm using this one, this plastic 009, and download some scratch PBR textures as well, whichever you like. And with that downloaded, we are set to begin. Alright, let me close this, don't save. Alright, in new file, I'm going to delete everything, and I'm going to add in a cylinder. This is going to be like a speed run through the entire thing. Alright, I'm going to start this. Alright, so basically you're just going to model it. You can have like a reference image in the background and model it. It's up to you, but I'm not going to have like a reference image over here. I'm just going to like model it freely. So shade this smooth, and you know, make sure you enable auto smooth, and you can select this bottom face, and you can like insert it and extrude it up a little bit and scale it inwards a little, just to create that you know, the bottom part of the thing, something like that. That should be it. And as for the top, you're going to be selecting this face and extruding it up just a little and scaling it in like that, and extruding it up all the way up there, and deleting this face because obviously it's a bottle, it does not have a top. And that's about it for the bottle. And I'm gonna add in another cylinder. This one's for the cap, and make sure you change the vertices to 64, so you have more detail over there. Shade it smooth again, and take it up. The reason I'm telling you to do it, I mean to add like 64 vertices, is because, you know, you're gonna have those gnarly patterns, the grip part of the side, and it's better if you have like 64 vertices. You know, it's not so, it doesn't look great when you have like 32, but when you have 64, it looks pretty good. So basically I'm just, you know, it's the same thing. You're going to be scaling it in and insetting it this time like this, and extruding it up like that, and scaling it in like that, and take this up like this a little, and you know, select this and scale it inwards like this, and you can select this and, you know, just bring it up just a little to make that nice slope. And also you can delete this face. You can like inset this, extrude it in a little bit like that, and delete it, and now you have the hollowness of the cap, I guess. I press slash to go into local view, and I'm just gonna delete this face because it's not even gonna be seen. Maybe I can just press E once on this edge, right click to cancel it, and Alt S to scale it inwards towards the normal, or I'm gonna press S and Shift Z to scale it in every axis except the Z axis, and just give it some thickness like this, because this is all that it is gonna be seen, so it doesn't matter. Somewhat like that. And I can select the neck and scale it up like this in every axis except the Z axis, and bring it down like that. There you go, that should do it. Now that's basically it for the bottle. Of course we are gonna have to select this whole loop of faces, and we're gonna be pressing I once to insert it, I twice to insert it individually, and we're just gonna insert it like this, maybe scale it down along the Z axis like that, and press E once, right click to cancel it, and Alt S to scale it along the normals like that. Just bring it out just a little bit, and you should be set. Just a little more maybe. There you go, you now have the grip. Cool. Now we're going to be adding the Sub Surf Modifier. Just add in a Control 2 to add a Sub Surf Modifier, or you can go ahead and add it from here. And I'm just going to select like the edges of this bottle. Just gonna have to select these like this. Also, if you're hearing my dog snoring in the background, just ignore it. All right, just ignore it. I mean, he's like really sound asleep, and I don't want to disturb him. So make sure you apply the scale before doing this, and go into edit mode and hit Control B to bevel this. Like 3 loops should be good now. 3 loops should be more enough. The thing is, these things are a little smooth, these things, so just make sure you have that nice smoothing going on over there. And with that done, you can come out of this. And as for this as well, and as for the cap, alright, I'm gonna add in another Sub Surf Modifier, and it looks straight up terrible. Apply the scale, and let's go into edit mode, and we'll have to manually select all of these edges. Alright, I mean, like, you can't do this alt select the whole face, whole line of edge over there, because you can see that this edge is basically getting split in multiple directions. It's going like this, and it's going like this, it's going like this. So you're not so Blender does not know which line of edges to select. So what you're going to do is select one edge, and then hold Control and go and select another edge, and Blender will automatically select the shortest path between those edges. And the shortest path between those edges is obviously a straight line, so you're going to end up selecting the whole edge like that. And you're going to have to do it for the bottom as well. And there you go, you have that selected. And let's select this one, and this one, and this one. Alright, and now we're going to basically bevel these things just like how we did the previous one, but you're gonna have to be a little careful and make sure that your bevel, I mean, you don't bevel too much. It's not really very smooth. It's gonna be a little sharp, and there you go. Yes, that should be it. Alright, let's not select the top 2 loops, because the bevel is different over there. So let's just select the bottom ones, and we can just bevel them first, and like that. Right about that much should be good. That looks good. And you can select the top ones separately and bevel them like that. Maybe a little more. I guess that much. I can add 4 loops over here. That looks good. That looks good. That looks really good. And as for the knurls over here, you can see that they don't look good. They look squished. And that's because you gotta select like you gotta select like this face, and you're gonna have to alt select this whole loop over here, and you're gonna have to like bevel it to get that sharpness over there. So yeah, I'm gonna speed I mean, like, if you're looking at it from the distance, it's not really visible. So if you wanna, you can do that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this though. I'm gonna add in one loop in the middle and hit Control Shift R to get two edge loops from there, and I'm just gonna like bring them up like this, and just make sure that they have a nice shape over here. They go straight and they curve over there. So yep, that looks good to me. I can scale this along the z-axis and control it. So yeah, I can dissolve this edge, and there you go, that looks good. All right, the next step will be UV unwrapping this, and UV unwrapping this is not really a big deal. Just go to the back view and select like one vertical edge, and we're gonna have to select like the central of the central edge of all the bevels, and that will help you get all of the seams in the right place. And Control E, mark seam, A, U, and unwrap. That's about it for UV unwrapping this one. And it's gonna be a similar thing for this, and to be honest, it's easier to unwrap this. Let's go into the back view, Control 1, the one on the number pad, and we're gonna select this whole vertical edge like this, and we're gonna hit select and select sharp edges to select all of the sharp edges like that, and Control E, mark seam, A, U, unwrap. There you go. Oh yeah, we can save this while we're at it. Alright, cool. Now we got the UV maps, and that looks good. The last thing that we need for this is the actual ketchup, right? Actually, let's add in some thickness. Let's give some thickness to this bottle, because right now it's paper thin. So we're just gonna give it a little bit of thickness like that, just a little bit. These bottles are not really very thick, because if they're very thick, they wouldn't really squeeze a lot. So you can add a little bit of thickness. I'm happy with like this much, because I'm happy with it. It looks good, just not too much. And as for the ketchup inside, we're gonna be like selecting a part of this and duplicating it and making that into the ketchup. So we're gonna add in Control R to add a loop cut, and just make sure you do these until they're like squares. 25 is a good amount. Something almost squares is good as well. And let's select as much as you'd like. Okay, I'm happy with this much. I'm happy if this much is the ketchup. So I'm gonna hit Shift T, duplicate it, and P, and separate it by selection. And now this both of these are like separate objects. All right, now I'm gonna select this, and this is where it gets a little icky. You're gonna remove the Solidifier modifier. You're gonna fill up this face, and you can see that the Sub Surf Modifier does this. So basically, how we're gonna be getting I mean, not the globs and stuff, but how we're gonna be getting the actual ketchup inside at the bottom is because we're gonna be sculpting this. All right, and right now we don't have the geometry to sculpt. So if you apply the Sub Surf modifier, you can see that we have geometry everywhere except the top. So in order to tackle that, we need some geometry at the top as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be connecting these vertices like this. All right, just connect them as quads or whatever. Quads is preferred, to be honest, so just make sure that they're quads. But you just need geometry over there. It doesn't matter, the topology doesn't really matter over here. All right, just join these, and we can join these as well. And now we have geometry like this, but it's only like two faces over here, so we're gonna have to join these as well. And don't worry if you're getting like these triangles over here. Doesn't really matter when we're sculpting. So yeah, it doesn't matter. You just need the geometry. You don't need anything else. Yep, we're done. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna delete both of these edge loops because it's nice to have some quads over there. I like those squarish shapes. And now if you apply the Sub Surf Modifier, you can see that we have a lot of this geometry. Of course, of course, it's messed up where we had these triangles, but does it really matter? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into Sculpt mode and just increase the strength and the radius. Yikes! What happened? Yep, just increase this, and you're just gonna have to just make some deformations over here. You don't have to be like, doesn't have to be like perfect, just make some deformations, and you can hold control to make this go in and stuff. And another tool that you can use is the snake hook tool, with which you can like pull stuff out. So that's pretty handy over here. You can just pull stuff and do those things that you can do. So yeah, that's it. This is basically gonna be Ketchup. All right. You can come out a local view, and you can see that it's actually leaking outside the bottle. So select your draw tool and just hold control and click on it like this to send it inside. All right. And yeah, that looks good. And you can come out of sculpt mode, and in object mode you can see what it looks like. Cool. And finally we can start doing the materials. So let's head into the shader editor, and before everything we're gonna add in like an environment texture to help us actually look at the object. It doesn't really have to be like a super high res HDRI. I'm using a 2K HDRI. You can use a 1K, to be honest. I'm just using a 2K because I have it ready over here. But yeah, 1K is good enough. If it's not going to be seen, 2K if it's going to be in the background. And beyond that, it's not really needed. You don't really need to use because you gotta make sure your VRAM doesn't get used a lot. Alright, enough talking. We're gonna start with this. We can start with the ketchup material first. We can add a new material, call it ketchup, and it's simple. You're just gonna add like a maroon material over here, and this is enough because it's not really gonna be seen, right? All that you're gonna be able to see is gonna be like a silhouette of the entire ketchup thing, so it doesn't really matter. We can come out of it, and as for this, we can start by adding in the materials for the bottle. So it's going to be like a plastic material. So I'm going to make a tomato ketchup. So yeah, I'm going to bring in the saturation, and I'm going to make it red. Looks good. Actually, let me get a better HDRI. This is a much better one. Alright, this is a much better HDRI. It's more brighter. Alright, now you can see that we have something that looks like a red bottle, but you can't really see through it. And adding in transmission is not going to help. Make sure you have sufficient light paths though, like 3 or 4 should be good, and 1 for the diffuse. Also, if you want to understand what those light paths are and how to use them properly, I have a video on them. The link is up there. Alright, so adding transmission is not going to help because it just makes it look like colored glass. And adding in subsurface doesn't really help either. So that's why what you're going to do here is basically we're going to add in another shader over here, which is going to be the translucent shader. We're going to take the translucent shader and mix it with the principal BSD by using a mix shader. Mix this over here. 0.5 is good, and voila, you can see that you can now see through the whole bottle. But then again, it could be better. I mean, it doesn't look like plastic, obviously, and that's why we had downloaded these materials, right? So we're going to select the plastic material, and we don't need the color. Obviously, we don't need the green color. We just need the roughness and the normal. Alright, we're going to bring the roughness over here, change it to non-color, and connect it to the roughness of the principal BSDF, and there you go. You can automatically see that it's an improvement. You can see that it looks like plastic a little, and you can bring in the normal map over here and add in, make it non-color, connect it to the normal. There should be some weird shading happening. Add in a normal map and you should be fine. And you have this nice plastic looking thing over here. It looks much better than before, but it can still be better. We can add some scratches on it, because right now if you look at the roughness, you can see that it's kind of looking, I mean, it does have its own imperfections, like, you know, there are these patches here and there's these stuff going on there, but doesn't really seem to have much imperfections when you look at it this way. You know, there's not really much going on there, and obviously a bottle is going to get scratched, right? So let's select our scratches material, and the only thing that we need is the normal map. We don't need either of these. So select your normal map and bring it over here, and make sure you change it to non-color, and we are going to be mixing the plastic and the scratch normal map. So add in a mix RGB node over here, connect the scratches at the bottom, and there you go, it should get mixed. And you can see that the scratches look weird. You know, the scratches are going like top to bottom, where they should be going like left to right. Yeah, that's a problem with the UVs. So we're gonna select the, go into edit mode in the bottle and select everything, and let's go to the UV editor over here, and select everything and rotate it 90 degrees, and now the UVs should be fixed. You know, you can see that the scratches are going this way. If you think the scratches are like too big, if the scale of the scratches are too big, you can hit Ctrl T to bring up the mapping and coordinate nodes, and you can change the scale to 2, and now it should look much better. Cool. So now we are done with that. The next detail for us to worry about is that, right, you can see that the reflection on the plastic's reflection is kind of smooth. It's kind of even. It's the same everywhere. And if you're using a bottle like this, you're gonna keep holding it, you're gonna squeeze it, and some people are gonna have oily hands while using it. The shine is gonna go away in some areas. It's not gonna be everywhere. The shine will deteriorate in some places, and some places where there's been oil accumulation will have a lot more shine. So we're gonna be messing with this roughness map in order to get, kind of like an imperfect shine. So I'm going to be doing that is by mixing it with another texture, which is going to be a procedural texture. We're going to be mixing it with another texture, and kind of mix them both to create some imperfections. So I'm going to add in a Musgrave texture. You can use a noise texture as well, but why I'm using a Musgrave texture is that, it's just naturally a lot more stronger than a noise texture. And if you're using a noise texture, you're gonna have to add like a color ramp and stuff, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna mix this Musgrave with the plastic roughness map. But when you mix it, you can see that it doesn't look so great. You can see that it can be better. And the thing is, we don't need to mix it entirely. We just need to mix the black parts of the Musgrave texture with this, because you can see that this is more towards the brighter side. You have like, the plastic is basically towards the brighter side because everything is whiter. We need to make it a little darker here and there to get that oil accumulation and stuff. But over here you can see that we are getting it, but we're also losing the plastic a little. You can see the strength of the plastic reduces from here to here. So what we're going to do is we're going to be combining the blacks of this with this, and when you need to combine blacks, you're going to be using this blend mode known as multiply. So multiply basically just mixes the black parts of one layer with another. All right, and you can change the factor to control the how much it gets mixed. So something like 0.8 is good. And now if you preview this, you can see that some parts get this oily look and some parts don't. Whoa, where's my translucent? It's over here. Alright, you can see that you have that oily look on the ketchup bottle. And of course, if you don't want this much, you can always reduce the factor, and you can get some really nice results. I'm going it's just gonna leave it here for now. We can change it later. So this is the plastic. This is it. This is for the plastic. But you know, right now if you look at it entirely, you can see that doesn't look realistic, because you know, if you're having like a realistic ketchup bottle, you're gonna have like, you know, globs here and there. You're gonna have like big globs and small globs stuck to the sides, and that's what we're gonna do now. And it's probably not gonna take more than 5-10 minutes max. So how I'm gonna do this is, we're done with these, you can move these at the bottom, and I'm gonna add in a noise texture. And here's what it looks like. And I'm gonna add in a color ramp, and I'm gonna increase the contrast of the noise. So what you're seeing here is that you can see the white parts of this noise texture. This is basically gonna act like a mask for darkening the ketchup globs wherever they are. So this is up to you, up to your own preference. You can have like as many globs as you want. You can play with the scale of this and everything. I'm just gonna keep this at 5, and I'm gonna bring this mapping node, and you know, I'm gonna play with the scale of these and get this kind of a thing. So I think this looks nice. This will be like my big globs, and for the smaller globs, I can maybe bring the whites up a little more. Yeah, something like that. I can duplicate this, and this is gonna be my smaller globs, right? So yeah, make this a little bit like that, and you know, you can get these smaller stuff. So maybe 10 should be good enough. Yeah, that looks good enough. So now we're going to be mixing this and this, but we're not going to be literally mixing it. We're just going to mix the white parts of both. And just like how you used multiply to mix the dark parts of something, there's another blend mode which is the opposite of multiply and mixes the light parts. So we're going to duplicate this mix over here, and we're just going to change it to screen. Screen is the thing that mixes the bright parts of something. So if you preview this now, you can see that you're mixing the white parts. If you preview multiply, you can see that you're mixing the blackness, and if you change to screen, you can see that you're mixing the bright parts. So now this is basically going to act as a mask for a second material, which is the ketchup material. Alright, we're going to copy this material and bring it over here. We're going to paste this over here, and you know, this material, it's going to act as a mask for this material, and it's going to, you know, darken the plastic bottle inside, you know, wherever these whites are. So I'm going to add in like another mix shader over here, mix this with this, and add the principal BSDF over here. And right now, if you preview it, you'll be able to see that it's kind of mixing like together. But if you take this and connect this into the factor, you can see that you have now created a mask for the ketchup material, and you can see that you're creating globs over here. But there is one problem over here. It's that, you know, you're creating these globs even at the bottom, and you don't want it at the bottom. You only want it at the top where the ketchup isn't there, because you won't have globs over here. So you will have to create another mask for this one to control where you're gonna have to mask the mask. Alright, you're gonna have to create a mask to actually mask the mask, and I hope you're understanding this. How you're gonna do is, you know, and this is gonna be pretty simple to do, because it's gonna be like a straight thing. It's gonna be like a gradient from top to bottom, right? You don't have any noise disturbance or anything. It's just gonna be white at the top and black at the bottom, because you want it to be seen at the top and unseen at the bottom. So the easiest way is to just add in a gradient texture and Control D to bring up the vector, the mapping and coordinates. And if you preview this right now, it should be like this. But if you rotate this along, let's say the y-axis, let's say 90 degrees, you can see that now you have white at the top and black at the bottom. And you're going to take in your color ramp and put it over here, and now you can see that you can control the mask basically. So this is going to act as the mask for our mask to mask the ketchup material. Alright, and how you're going to do that, duplicate this over here and connect this over here, and let's preview this, and just connect this over here into the second input, and you can see that it's getting mixed, but we don't want it to get mixed. We want the black parts of the gradient to just the black parts of the gradient to affect this. So we're going to change this to multiply. Where's that? Over here. And you can see that now we have created a nice mask, and this is going to be our final mask for the ketchup thing. And now if you preview this, ta-da, you can see that you have these globs only at the top and none at the bottom. And the best part about it is that you can control the globs entirely. You can have like smaller globs, you can have like bigger globs, whatever you would like. So that's about it, to be honest. That's about it. And as for the cap, just copy this plastic part of the principled, this shader, and go to the cap, add a new material, and just paste it over here, and that's about it. Yeah, there you go. And you have the oiliness on the cap as well. Yeah, that's good. And you might wanna alter the UVs in the cap as well, rotate it 90 degrees like that. And so that's it. You can that's the end of the tutorial basically. Why am I doing this? Okay. Best part about it is that you can change it to whatever color you want it to be, and all you have to do is change these colors and you will be set. So yep, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful. It was a quick one, it was a short one, and it is a good one because there's nothing on YouTube like this. I'm the first one to do it, so you better give me a thumbs up, because more people can find this video, and I really want them to, because I am about to hit 1000 subscribers. Alright, as of the time I'm recording this, I'm like 95 subscribers short of 1000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to my channel and you find my videos helpful, please hit the subscribe button, and because that would really help me. That will really help me grow, and give this video a thumbs up so that more people can find it, because that also will help me grow. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's it for now. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, and before I go, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because that's where I share all of my artwork. So yeah, I'm just getting the word out. So make sure you follow me there. Bye.